Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting Adventures with Amy. So I'm doing another blanket video. This one is for Pete's Blankets of Hope. Now I sent scarves, hats and scarf sets to this organization back whenever, I don't remember when. But I like this organization because it's local. It's a local organization for me in Minnesota. It's based not even an hour away from me. So I really like when I can do things for them. Now let me say a little bit about it. I've read it this before in the other video, but I'm just going to do it again. And I can't pronounce some of these things the right way, but I'm just going to do my best. The Peter, first of all, it's our mission. The Peter, and his last name is spelled S-T-A-C-H-O-W-I-C-Z. So the Peter, whatever, Foundation is a Minnesota-based 501c3 nonprofit. Our mission is to offer local cancer patients support, comfort, and hope by donating homemade crocheted blankets. Our vision is to positively impact the lives of those battling cancer. We want to inspire and encourage those through the telling of Peter's journey of hope. Now here's Peter's story, and this too is where there's going to be things in here that I can't pronounce. So Peter was a fun well, they just call him Pete in the story. Pete was a fun, athletic, adventurous, and successful young man. He loved playing hockey, 2-time state title wins, academic all-star 4 years, and 2 NIHL state wins, and captain junior and senior years. He also loved running cross country during his freshman most improved runner, fishing, baseball 2-time all-star, and traveling. He graduated in 2016 from the University of Minnesota Carlson School of Management, majoring in Management Information Systems. He landed his dream job at Securian Financial in St. Paul. Only one short year later, at the age of 24, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor called anaplastic astrocytoma. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, with an incredibly rare tumor pattern called glioblastoma cerebri. I don't know. This pattern affects 3 of the 4 lobes in the brain. This aggressive and cruel cancer took away his ability to speak, walk, and control of his dominant right side. While he only lived for 18 months after he was diagnosed, he never gave up hope and battled his cancer without one complaint. With great difficulty, he was able to say to us and share this, and we share this with those battling cancer. Don't give up hope. They do have a web page called Pete's. It's https://petesblankets.com. I'm going to put that in the description down below. Now on the website, there's tons of information, like there is on a lot of web pages. One of the neat parts is you can fill out a form to request a blanket. And this is if you want a certain blanket. They ask what your name is, your first and last name, your address, because they need to know where to mail it to. But they cannot ship them to P.O. boxes. Why? I don't know. The city, state, zip code, email. And then they ask what type of cancer you have. Then they ask your first color choice, your second color choice, and a third color choice, because they might have a blanket already made that's already there with some of those colors. And then they ask what hobbies you might have, or sports that you enjoy, teams that you follow. So you can fill in that information. It does say, please note only one blanket per address, and they cannot ship to P.O. boxes. They also have 2 Facebook pages. One is just called Pete's Blankets of Hope. And on that one, I follow both of them, both of their pages. The first one, it's got lots of great information. It's always got a slideshow and pictures of what has been donated. And then different events that might be going on or are going to go on, maybe pictures from those events. I know there was a garage sale, just different places maybe that have done events to raise money for this foundation. Some pictures, some pictures of people, I didn't type this out very well. Some people that have received blankets that are maybe going through cancer treatment. There are some pictures of people with the blankets on them. And then there's just a lot of fun stuff to look at. I scroll way back on it quite often just to get some inspiration and stuff too. Then their other one is Pete's Crocheting Angels of Hope. Now that page is mainly for the people that are going to crochet and do things or are interested in helping the foundation out with blankets or whatever they're looking for. And again, there's a lot of fun information, same as on the other page, information about activities that are coming up. They do a WIP Wednesday where you can share what you're working on, even if it's not blanket or related to Pete's Blankets of Hope. It's fun just to share what you're working on. And then each month they have like a spotlighted crocheting angel. And there's like a little some questions that they answer, so you find out a little bit about them. Okay, this all kind of is going into, on the Pete's Crocheting Angels of Hope Facebook page, they had put out that they were looking for a couple people to make a couple special requested blankets. One of them, well, I remember the one that I made. I don't remember what the other one was for. So, but the one that I was requested that I made was baseball themed or umpire for baseball themed blanket. So I had told, responded on the Facebook post that I would be willing to make one. And then I looked on Etsy and Ravelry and Pinterest. I looked all over for patterns. I sent him a few suggestions or different ideas, and we decided on one. Now, I will show you. It was on Etsy, and this is the one that was on Etsy. I'm putting my finger over it. I didn't realize it's just the last 4 numbers of my debit card, but this pattern is $5.95, and then I think might be some tax on it too. But this is the one that we came up with. Now, Peyton is not the right name, but isn't that a cool looking blanket pattern with the baseball diamond and the ball and the 2 bats, and then the name. Now, the name that he wanted on it was the name Bill. Oh, and then I was going to mention too, the designer that sold the pattern, the page is Sugar Bee, spelled B-E-E, crochet. See if I can get that closer up here. But yeah, it's right. I'm like, can't see what I'm doing here. But it's just a little bit under the $5.95. You can see it there, Sugar Bee Creates. That's who I purchased this pattern from. Now, the foundation was willing to purchase the pattern, make sure I had the yarn, everything for it. But I like just to donate the stuff myself. If I'm going to do this and I'm going to donate to this wonderful cause, I just like to donate it all myself. So that's what I did. And I keep wanting to say Pete, the guy that does a lot on the page, I just looked at it earlier. I think his name is John, but he doesn't really put his name out there on the page. It's just everything's under Pete's Blankets of Hope. So when you order this pattern, you get it in graph, to where if you want to follow the graph, you can, which I did bring it up a few times because I just got a little bit confused in a couple spots. But it was my own, you know, I'm the one who had messed up, so things weren't lining up right. But I figured it out. But I'm just going to show, and then you also can get it like in this format where you then follow, you know, the rows. So this is what the one I did. I've got, the guy's name was Bill. So that is the pattern that I purchased. And now I don't mind buying it because now I've got the baseball bat and all of that. I've got that part forever. So I can make make a blanket with just that. So here is the blanket. I'll have to push my chair back and stand up. I did just wash it. So it's nice and soft. I just used basic acrylic yarn for it. And ta-da! The name turned out so cool. It really turned out nice. And this is a graph. It's single crochet graph blanket. And so there's his name, Bill. It's hard to get up here. And then, because it is a pretty big blanket, because I think it's for an adult. But then look at that. Look at how cool that pattern turned out. The baseball, the bats, the diamond. Isn't that just cool? I think it all came up. Ta-da! And then the bottom is just extra rows of the blue because I wanted to make sure it was tall enough, of course. And then I just did a basic moss stitch for a border. I like doing that on blankets, especially if it's a blanket for a guy, if you know it's for a guy. But yeah, it's just four of the colors. Well, 5 if you count the first row was a blue, and then I did the red, white, and then I think that's camel, and then the green. But yeah, just a basic moss stitch, nothing frilly because it's for a guy, border on it. The pattern was really easy to follow. Like I said, there was those couple spots, but honestly, that was my fault because I had done the row before wrong. So, okay, so on to the yarns that I used. I can't really tell you how much because, you know, I just kind of took from, well, I ordered some, but when you do a graph blanket, you got to have lots of, some of the colors you needed multiple skeins, or some people use, God, I can't think of my words. And when people do videos, I can think of words that they're looking for. Bobbins, there you go. You have multiple bobbins. Well, I just do like little cakes of yarn instead of bobbins. So I really can't judge how much yarn I used. The blue, of course, I used the most, and I'm sure I used over a skein of that. So I'm just going to kind of go over the colors just in general that I used. In the bat, on part of the bat, it has a lighter color on it. It has the camel, and then I just used Buff from Red Heart Super Saver. Upside down, right side up. Red Heart Super Saver in the color Buff. It's right there. And yeah, that's just a lighter, you know, a lighter tannish color. So I used that in part of the bat. The bat is kind of two-tone color. And then I just have all the things here everywhere. The red that I used in there, I used Premier Just Yarn Worsted Value Yarn, and it's just the color red. Just worsted 100% acrylic yarn. So it's just Premier Just Value, Just Yarn, not Just Value, Just Yarn Value Yarn in the color red. And then the green is also the Premier Just Yarn, Premier Just 1 pounder. Just Yarn Worsted. Okay. Well, I think this one was $5. So this one is one that I got at the dollar store. But it's called Forest, and that's the green. It's a little bit darker. I don't know. Ooh, something on it. It's like cardboard or something. But it's a forest called Forest Green. And then we used Premier Just Yarn Worsted for the white, just a plain white yarn. Now I got yarn in my nose. And then this brown here. Now I had 3 of these skeins up here, and this is what I have left. I might have some other small ones, but this is the camel, and that was the other part of the bat. So that's that one. Premier, that was Big Twist yarn. And then on the ball itself, it had one side of it that I think is supposed to be like a shaded part of the ball. And I just then went back to Red Heart Super Saver. This is a jumbo skein, but Red Heart Super Saver. And this is just Aran color. Just an off-white color. And that and the white went together for the ball. And then for the blue, I used Premier Just Yarn Worsted Value. And this is navy blue. It's a pretty dark blue, but it worked out really good. It really makes the other stuff in the blanket stand out. So Premier Just Yarn Value. The main part of the blanket I did with a eye hook, with a Susan Bates hook. And then the border, I went down a size. So I did an H. An I is a 5.5. The H is a 5.0, and I just used my clover hook because that's what was right next to me. I do have an H in this one too, but so I did the border in that just to kind of pull it together a little bit. And yeah, I think it turned out really cool. And now the guy gave me his address to be able to mail it to him, but in turn I asked him if I could bring it to him in person, hoping that he would say yes. And he did say that I could. Now, I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be home when I do that. I don't know if he works outside the house, his work schedule. I do know he's put a picture on one of the Facebook pages, probably on the Angels one, Crocheting Angels. He did put a picture that he has like a big box outside his door on his deck or something, his patio, his people can drop blankets off, yarn donations if they have yarn. If someone doesn't crochet and they just want to buy yarn and donate yarn, they can do that too. And that can just be dropped off at his house as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Go check out the web page. I'll put it down below and stuff. And the Facebook pages. I just think it's just another good way to help, if you like to make blankets. You don't have to do, this was a really big one, but it was a special request blanket. People of all ages and sizes, babies, older people, kids, whatever, cancer isn't picky about who it affects. Everybody, a lot of people can be affected by it. So yeah, if you feel the need to or the want to donate to something, it's a good thing to donate to. You can also make, I think, a financial donation too. I didn't look into that because I'm donating by making blankets. But yeah, it's just another way that we can share our crocheting talent with others. So that's it for this video. It's longer than I thought it would be, but I was worried it was going to be too short, so it actually isn't. And yeah, I'm up in my daycare area. I didn't feel like going downstairs and setting everything up down there, so I stack up boxes, and then I put my phone up on boxes so I can do videos up here too. So, all right, well, that's it for this video. So I'm just going to say to enjoy your craft, whatever craft it is. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.